Hello. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. If you are catching the replay, as always, thank you for watching. You can always let me know that you are catching the replay. You can let me know that you're catching the replay by typing replay in the comments, whether you're catching this live on the gram or you are watching on YouTube. All right, y'all. Hello. Happiest Friday to you. I am Siobhan, your community cultivator, and I believe that every single woman deserves to be free and fulfilled in her life. I teach women how to get unstuck and how to find fulfillment and be free to live the life that they desire to live. And this work that I do, I'm so deeply passionate about it, that I get to impact lives all over the world just by being myself and living out my purpose. And my purpose is to be a light and empower others to be free. And so I get to do that every single day. And so you can learn more about me, the work that I'm doing, at my website, BeFreeProject.com. I have a podcast that you can tune into where I'm sharing all of the good things where I talk about, like this week we talked about, I talked about following your dreams, and I want to bring that over to the live today. But last week was about self-love. So if you're interested in anything personal growth related, friendship, all that jazz, you can head over to my podcast and you can subscribe anywhere that you tune in. And then also I have an amazing membership community called the Be Free Inner Circle, where positive, like-minded women all over the world are doing their personal growth work with one another and finding their forever friends. And you can head over to Be Free Inner Circle to learn more about that. And hello. How are you? How are you feeling? How is your Friday going so far? I am feeling really great. My best friend got into town today from Jersey, so I'm excited to see her and spend time with her this weekend. Her daughter is going to prom, like she's 18, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember when she was just a baby and now she's going to prom. So I'm looking forward to spending time with my BFF this weekend. But today I want to talk all things about following your dreams. And the reason that I want to have this conversation here on the gram. So if you listen to this week's episode of the podcast, I talked about this and I read this passage from the book Acts of Faith. And as I was reading the passage this week, I'm like, this is so powerful. And so I did my whole episode on it. And then as I was thinking about what did I want to talk to everyone about today live, and I'm like, I want to have this conversation so I can kind of go back and forth with you. That's the thing about podcasts, right? So I'm on there just chopping it up and just talking. But if you know me, I love engagement. I love conversation. I love going back and forth. And so it really helps me to share my perspective, but then also get feedback from you. So that's why I love going live inside the Be Free Inner Circle, which we have about 4 to 6 events live per month, because I do get that engagement and that human interaction. But today I want to get that with you. So if anything that if you're picking up what I'm putting down, make sure you're double tapping the screen to give likes and all that jazz. If you have a question about anything whatsoever, you can put it in the question box or you can put it in the comment section. As I'm sharing, if it's resonating with you, drop it in there and let me know. That way we have some type of connection and communication. It's not just me talking. All right. So what I'm going to start off doing, and I'm glad y'all feeling great. Hello. Welcome everyone from the Be Free Inner Circle. I love that y'all come over and catch me live. Let me say this before we get started. Why don't you share this video with your community? And you can do that by hitting the little arrow in the bottom right corner and just sharing it, and let people know that you're watching me live. And and then that way, the more the merrier. That would be amazing. All right. So I'm going to start off by reading this passage, and the book that I'm reading from is Acts of Faith by Ayanna Van Zandt. Again, I love this book. I got my first copy of it back in 1999. My aunt, thank you, Sierra. Hello. My aunt bought me my first copy in 1999. And at that time I was 19 years old. And I remember being at the bookstore with her, and she let me choose a book. And at 19 years old, for some reason, I chose Acts of Faith. Fast forward, so I still have the original copy, but she has since updated the 25th anniversary edition. So I recently got a new copy. And then I also purchased copies for my friends for Christmas, because I'm like, everybody needs to be reading this. And so one of my great friends and I, we committed to reading Acts of Faith for the whole year. So we started reading it in December for the month of December. And then we were like, you know what, do you want to read it, because it's like daily, like it's calendar, And so we was like, do you want to read it for the whole year? And so we are. So every single day we read the passage, and then we'll send a voice note or a text to one another, letting each other know what were our thoughts for the passage. And so when I read the passage from May 4th, I was like, oh, I gotta talk about this. Like, yes, it's great, and we have, great dialect going back and forth, but I'm like, I need to share this with my community. And because there's so much meat in this. So I'm going to read it to you. So even if you listen to the podcast this week, you're going to hear it again. And then I would love to know your thoughts. I would love to know where you stand. How do you feel as it relates to following your dreams? Yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to read the whole thing. And I highly recommend, this is what I want to say about the book too. This book was written, let's see. The first copy, y'all, was in 1993. Right? We are in 2021. The content in this book is timeless, meaning it is still relevant for today. So even as I'm reading it, I'm like, yo, this is perfect. This is perfect. Like, you would have thought that it was written today. Like, and this is 1993. So if you don't have a copy, I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. You can check it out. I have an Amazon store, if you will. And so you can click the link in my bio and you can purchase it just from my Amazon link. You can find it there. All right, so today's passage, or May 4th's passage, it says, we can find so many reasons to postpone doing and receiving our good. It's not the right time. If it's for me, I'll get it. I'm waiting for a sign. I'll do it later. I'll receive my rewards in heaven. I guess it's not for me. I didn't want it or need it anyway. These are just a few of the ways we convince ourselves not to follow our dreams. The belief in a hereafter paved with gold is no reason to live in poverty now. As above, so below means whatever we can have later, we can have right now. If heaven is a place prepared for kings and queens, we want to do our work on earth so we won't show up looking and acting like paupers. And then the affirmation is, there is no earthly reason for me to delay my good. Yo, let me know if that is a word or word. Now, when I read the different quotes that she had, and it's about 2, 4, 6, 7 of them, right? The one that stood out the most to me is, I'll receive my rewards in heaven. I remember when I was in church, when I used to attend church, that was something that was said over and over and over again. You will get your rewards when you get to heaven. And I'm like, but what about now? Like, am I supposed to, like she points out, live in poverty or have this poverty mindset, or wait till I get to heaven and die before I can truly live life? And even my grandmother, who is 91 years old, she'll say to this day, when I get to heaven, basically when she gets to heaven, that's when everything will be dreamy and amazing. But what about in this very moment? So as I'm reading these other statements, it's not the right time. If it's for me, I'll get it. I'm waiting for a sign. I'll do it later. All that is you making excuses as to not follow your dreams, as to not pursue the things that you desire. And so you're giving yourself a way out of it by using these statements that are not good, right? These are not good. Like, it's not the right time. Based on what? Based on what? Have you even tried to see if it's the right time? If it's for me, I'll get it. Have you went after it to get it? Like, so many people, and I'm going to talk about when I give you some tips or whatever, are lazy. They don't want to do the work to pursue their dreams. So they'll say these statements like, I guess it's not for me. No, that's not true. Even if things are not aligned perfectly the way that you want them, that doesn't mean that it's not for you. Have you done everything that you needed to do to make your dreams happen? Or did you give up too quickly? Or did you say, oh, I didn't want it or I didn't need it anyway because it didn't work out? And just because something doesn't work out in that moment, it doesn't mean that you didn't want it. You pursued it, you tried it, but did you give it everything that it needed to keep going forward, right? Did you do everything on your end to make that dream or that goal or whatever that thing is that you were trying to accomplish? Did you do your part? right? And so what is happening is that you're convincing yourselves that, oh, it's not the right time for me because, and I hear this all the time, especially with moms. My kids are in school, or I got to wait till my kids graduate, or now my kids are in college. It's like, okay, at what point are you going to take a step forward and show up for yourself? Or are you going to keep making excuses? And the excuses, and let me just give you this now, and this is on my notes, why people do not follow their dreams. Why they don't? Because they're lazy, and they don't want to admit that they're lazy, but that is the case. You're lazy and you don't want to admit that you really don't want to do the work that it takes to pursue your dreams, right? So that's one thing. The next thing is you may not even be clear what your dreams are because you've been so busy on this rat race for God knows how long that you stopped dreaming. Like you had all these ideas and dreams when you were a little girl, and when you know, I'm assuming, I'm not sure if men are watching, but I know my community is majority women. Like you had all these dreams when you were a child, right? But then something happened and you stopped dreaming. So then now you're working to pay bills, but you're unfulfilled, you're confused, you're lost, you feel disappointed, you feel like there's something missing because you stopped dreaming. You stopped dreaming about the things that you desired, and that's not okay. It's not okay. So people are lazy. They are afraid, right? They're afraid that, how am I going to do this? How am I going to pursue this dream? How am I going to make it happen, right? How? So you're afraid that it probably won't work for me because you think about all the past mistakes you've had. You think about your failures. You think about everything that happened up until this point, and you're too afraid to go after it. And you're not honest enough with yourself to even say that you're afraid. So then you'll go back and you'll use the excuses from this book. It's not the right time, or I'll do it later. When in actuality, your true feeling is you're afraid, or you're lazy, or you feel like you're not good enough, right? Like, oh, I can't possibly pursue this dream because I'm not good enough to do it. Because my mother made these choices. My father made these choices. My life has been messed up for God knows how long. There's no way that I'm good enough to pursue the dreams that I have for my life. And so again, you'll go back and you'll make an excuse, and you'll use these limiting statements to keep you stuck where you're at, right? You lack belief in yourself. You don't even believe that it's possible to pursue your dreams because you ain't seen nobody in your family fulfill dreams. You see them struggle. You see them work hard. You see them miserable. You see them being messy. You see them gossiping. You don't have anyone that you're connected to that's following their dreams. So of course you're not going to believe it's possible for you. You're going to think, of course I can. I don't have anyone at my fingertips that I can reach out, that I can say, oh, they had a dream and they went after it. So now you don't have a visual of what it looks like because you're not surrounded by the right people, right? When I think about my life right now and my family, right? I talked to my grandmother one time about dreams, and I asked her, I said, Granny, what did you dream? What did you want to do? You know what her dream was? To raise her 4 daughters, right? And make sure they had a roof over their head and food on the table. To this day, if I went over there and talked to her today, that's what she'll say. I worked hard. I made sure y'all, and she includes me as her daughter. So let's just say 5, because she calls me her daughter instead of her granddaughter. I made sure y'all had a roof over your head. I made sure that there was food on the table. And if I to ask her, okay, Granny, but did you have a dream to do more? No, she didn't, because she was just doing the basic needs. And I understand that we're living in a different time now. I understand that, right? But she didn't have a dream. So I didn't have an example from my grandmother. I definitely didn't have an example from my parents. I don't know anyone that said, you know what? I want to have this dream of going to college. I'm the first generation to go to college, to get a bachelor's and a master's, right? So I'm saying all this to say I did not have examples of people in my immediate family that had a dream, that they went after it and they pursued it. So then I understand, like, oh, I've been birthed with the Be Free Project, and this is the impact that I want to make all over the world, and this is the work that I want to do. But if I didn't have people in my corner to say, oh, to see what it looks like to follow dreams, I had to shift my environment. I had to find people that were following their dreams. I had to find people that were doing the work. I had to find people that were emotionally and mentally healthy that were goal seekers in doing that thing because I didn't have examples. So I'm saying this to say the reason that you lack belief in pursuing and following your dreams is because you don't have any examples in front of you. And so you spend so much time on Instagram, Facebook, admiring and watching what all these other people do, whether they're creatives, influencers, speakers, or what have you. And you lack, even if you have a desire to do what other people are doing, you don't believe it's possible for you because you don't have any examples. And the reason that you don't have any examples is because you're surrounded by people who are not dreaming. So I probably say this every single week. You have to surround yourself with like-minded people who will inspire you, who will motivate you, who will inspire you, who will encourage you. You need to shift your circle, because if everybody in your circle is not going after nothing, then you're going to naturally become just like them. It's inevitable. It really is, right? And so another reason why you're not following your dreams is because you lack support, right? You don't have support. Or, okay, I want to, let's just say you want to go back to college, but you don't have people in your corner that's supporting that dream for you. So you're not going to fulfill it. And you're going to fall back into these statements. I'll do it later, or I'm waiting for a sign, or it's not the right time right now. And you'll keep using those excuses over and over and over again, and you will never pursue the dreams that you have for yourself. Another reason why you're not following your dreams is that you're impatient with the process, right? You want things to happen really quick. And I hear this inside the Be Free Inner Circle. I hear this when I'm talking to people in real life, whenever I'm having my live events. One of the things that comes up all the time is that people start and they stop. They start and they stop. And it's this cycle that they keep repeating over and over again. And they're impatient with the process. They want this overnight thing, like, oh, I have this idea, I have this dream, I want to experience it the next day or the next year. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. It takes time for your dream to come to life. So I'll say this, for me in the very beginning, when Be Free Project was just getting started, I had all these big ideas. I knew how much money I wanted to make. I knew the impact. I knew the experience. I knew everything. But I wanted that stuff prematurely because I wasn't ready year one. I wasn't ready year two. Shoot, I'm just now getting ready. And what am I in? I'm in my 7th year of being in business now. Seventh year, excuse me. But the things that I'm experiencing now as I'm pursuing my dreams in a different way, I wasn't ready for it. So what if I would have been so impatient and I felt like, oh, year one and year two, because of what I thought I could handle in that time period? What if I was so impatient that I said, you know what? My dreams are not working. This is not working. I'm giving up on Be Free Project. This is not it. All of the lives that I would not be impacting because I was impatient with the process. Every day, women are joining the Be Free Inner Circle. And when we hop on these calls that I do with them, and they're sharing with me how they came in contact with my work. Let me just say this now. This lady yesterday, this is a perfect example of what I'm about to share. I was speaking with a young lady yesterday who just joined the Be Free Inner Circle maybe a week or two ago. And as we're talking, I said, how did you come in contact with my work? And she said, I've been listening to your podcast. I take notes every week. I'm applying everything that you're learning. And she said to me, she has some parental things going on or whatever, and some disconnect with a parent or whatever. And she said, it was something that you said on your podcast, and I feel myself getting emotional about this. She said, you were talking about your mother, your relationship with your mother. And she said to me, she said, if she can do it, I can do it. After listening to my podcast and hearing how I've forgiven my mother and all the work that I've done around my mother wounds, she listened to me and said, if she can do it, I can do it. And she not only said that, but then she took action. And her action was to go back to that parent and start to mend that relationship. Now, what if I was impatient with following my dream? What if I would have gave up on Be Free Project year? I'm sorry, I think it was a connection thing. If I was the first entrepreneur in my family, I didn't have any examples. What if I was impatient with the process? What if I would have given up? Then that young lady who needed to hear me, right, say how I healed the relationship with my mother, She wouldn't have been able to go back and mend the relationship with her parent if I would have been impatient with the process. This is how important it is to follow your dreams. Like, you have to be in it for the long haul. And let me know if y'all can hear me okay. I had a connection thing. I'm like, can y'all hear me and see me okay? Let me know. Someone tell me yes in the comments if you can hear and see me okay. Because it said like poor connection or something. Yes. We hear you. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So what if I would have been impatient and given up? And thank God I didn't. And so I'm saying that to say, if you are clear about what the dream is for your life, you have to keep going after it no matter what. And it gets hard. It gets tough. It gets uncomfortable. There's days when you're like, I don't know why the heck I'm doing this. And I was just sharing this with maybe the Be Free Inner Circle. I believe I was sharing it there. There has been very difficult times in my company, especially in the very beginning of the year, in the beginning of this. And I would be like, I'm ready to give up. I'm done. Like this, there got to be something better than this. I can go back and I can get a 9 to 5 because I know how to work that, right? And every single time that I had that thought, God will move something in the universe and I would get someone will reach out to me. Whether they send me a message online, whether they email me, I would get a text from someone. Money would miraculously come from somewhere. And it was always exactly when I needed it. And that's how one of the many reasons ways I know I'm so clear about my dream and the vision that I have for my life. Because the moments when I've wanted to quit, God said, no, your purpose is to be a light and empower others to be free. I never said that it was going to be easy. I never, ever said that. And so you have to be with it for the long haul. And then the last thing that I want to say about this as it relates to why people don't follow their dreams is because you think that you need money to pursue your dream. Right? You think that you need money and people will use that as a crutch. Oh, I don't have enough money to do this. I don't have enough money to do that. If it's a dream that you want to pursue, you literally can get started right now. Like my daughter is an artist. I talk about her work all the time and she is now ready to put her work on Etsy, right? She doesn't need any money for that. All she has to do is pick up her pencil and draw, right? And then we get to upload it to the site. Maybe it's a small fee. I forgot with Etsy. But even with social media, she can and she does that now. She just posts her art on social media. There's no money, but people will say, oh, I can't follow my dream because I don't have this many thousands of dollars and I don't have this many people following me or all these things. Nothing but excuses. So my question to you is, when are you going to stop making excuses? When are you going to say enough is enough and I'm going to follow my dreams no matter what, especially if you're clear about what it is that you want. And if you don't know, let's see. Let me put my book aside and pull out my notebook for y'all. And let me know, are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know if this is resonating with you. And I wish this was something that I heard years and years and years ago. And I'm like, every time that I have these downloads or these things, I'm like, I just got to get it out of me. And my hope is that when you come each week to listen to me live on IG at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my hope is that you are not just getting an emotional high. My hope is that you're listening to me. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all to have your notebooks out. But I hope you have your notebooks out. You have your pen. You have all that. And you're like, you know what? I listened to Siobhan and this is what I'm going to take action on. This is what I'm going to apply based on what I heard today. This resonates most with me. And if you don't know what your dream is, my recommendation, I would say, is to think about what it is what makes your heart sing. What's that thing that you would do whether you got paid to do it or not? What makes you come alive? If it's going back to school to go back to college and become a teacher because that's what you've always wanted to do, go chase that dream and don't let nothing get in your way. If it's to launch that jewelry business because you've been making jewelry for years and years and you've been doing it on the side and now you want to see if you can make money, go after it. Listen, whatever it is, whatever your dream is, I want you to go after it no matter what. So why you should follow your dreams? Number one, your life will be more fulfilling when you're doing what makes you come alive. Listen, not even last night, I went to bed, y'all, at 3:45 this morning. You want to know why I went to bed at 3:45 this morning? Because I was on the phone, FaceTime, with my great girlfriends for hours and hours, just talking, chatting it up, right? However, I was like, you know what? I committed to going live on IG at 12 p.m. So no matter what is happening, as long as I don't have any travel or anything happening with my schedule or anything, I'm getting on here live because this makes me come alive. That I get to share my thoughts. I get to share my heart. I get to empower women and share, these things that can be life applicable to you. That makes me come alive. Like right now, I'm living in my dream. I'm in the Be Free Project headquarters. I get to do what I love full time. I'm impacting women's lives all over the world, teaching them what it means to be free and fulfilled in their life. I am living my dream. Are there more aspects to it? Things that I want to do? Absolutely. But right now, I'm living in my dream that I created for myself, right? So your life is more fulfilling when you're doing what makes you come alive. So my challenge or my question for you is think about what is it that makes your soul sing? What makes you feel most alive? What makes you giddy in your spirit that, it would just delight you so much if you were pursuing this thing in your life? That's what I want you to think about. Why you should follow your dreams? Because you naturally will connect with other people who are also chasing their dreams. So I'll tell you, all my friends, they all follow their dreams, y'all. They are. And it's inspiring to me because now I get to feed off their energy. They get to feed off of my energy. And it's like, we're all chasing and following our dreams together. And so if there's days when I'm feeling discouraged or disappointed about something, I have a community of friends that's like, no, Siobhan, here's the dream. Here's the vision. Go after it. This is what you are reaching for. This is your goal. Like you say, you want to speak on Essence Stage. All right. You got to keep showing up, right? When you surround yourself with other women who are also chasing their dreams, that will keep you moving forward so you don't give up on yourself. And this is why you need to be a part of the Be Free Inner Circle, because every single woman in the community, they're positive, they're like-minded, they're doing the work to make their dreams a reality. Yes, there's a lot of work, especially for us as Black women, that we have to get through in order to get to the dream, in order to feel fulfilled. And so I get to coach, I get to mentor you, I get to help you see yourself, I get to make space for you, so then that ultimately, when I'm talking about being free, one day you're going to experience this in your own life. But right now, you need to be around like-minded women who are doing the work where we can wrap our arms around you and say, girl, I see you. I understand that it's hard right now. I understand that you're trying to balance virtual school, show up at your job, marry, do all these things. And I have created and cultivated the community for the Be Free Inner Circle to fill your cup. To fill your cup when you're feeling empty, so I can be that light that you need to keep going every single day. You need to surround yourself with dream catchers, people who are chasing their dreams. Also, when you're following your dreams, that is when you'll find true happiness and freedom. I'm so happy, y'all. And I was getting a call. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I don't know how do you still get calls coming through when you're on Do Not Disturb. I don't understand that. I got distracted. What was I going to say? Oh, I know what I'm saying. Let me get some water. And don't forget, if you have questions, comments, thoughts, make sure you put them in the question box or in the comments, and I'll make sure that I answer you. True happiness. Why you should follow your dreams is because that's when you'll have true happiness and freedom in your life. Right now, and I keep talking about it, and it's true. This is my honest to God's truth. My life is so free right now. I am truly happy from the inside out. Have I always been this way? Absolutely not. No. There was a time where I wore a mask, if you will, where I covered up the pain that I was feeling internally. So you may have thought that I was happy because I looked to par, but in actuality, I wasn't. But I've been doing so much inner work through therapy and all the things that I'm now in such a healthy place that I feel happy just for being, just for breathing, just for being alive. Like when I look at my life, I am very happy with the life I created, and I'm experiencing freedom like I've never experienced it before. And it feels amazing, and I would want every single woman connected to my work to have this level of freedom, if not more. It's a beautiful feeling. And the reason that I'm able to experience that, number one, I'm living in my purpose. I'm following my dreams. I'm so healthy, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Like, I'm so healthy in all areas. Not that things don't come up in my life, because they definitely do, but I handle them in a much different way than I've done before. And I'm free. Like, and it's an experience that I really want everyone to have, and I know everyone doesn't. And so my work is like, how do I get you there? How do I help you get to the freedom that you desire for your life? And then the other thing is why you should follow your dreams is because you only live once. We have one life to live here, and I'll be whatever that I am going to be stuck and miserable and mediocre. No. We have one life to live. How are you going to live it? Are you going to be miserable and stuck and unhappy and just, are you going to be like that? Or are you going to say, you know what? I have one life to live. This is my life. And how I'm going to live it, I'm going to be free. I'm going to follow my dreams. I'm going to pursue the things that make me happy. I'm going to let go of the things that no longer serve me. I'm going to create my life in such a way that it brings me nothing but bliss and joy. Because that's what I'm experiencing, right? You only live once. And I think I mentioned this on the podcast. There's so many people who die with their dreams every single day. They die with their dreams. Or you know how you read, like when people get to the last stages of their life on their deathbed, how they wish they would have done more. They wish they wouldn't have cared so much about things that really didn't matter. They wish they would have spent more time laughing in joy. Why can't you experience that now? What are you waiting for? Are you still going to keep saying, oh, it's not the right time for me? I got to wait till everything is perfect. I got to wait till everything lines up. Is that what you're waiting for? Right? Are you saying, oh, I'll do it later? You're breathing and you have life right now. And what's going to happen 2 days from now, a year from now? What's going to be different? What do you think in your head that the reason that you're procrastinating, the reason that you're not showing up for yourself, the reason that you're not taking action, what the heck do you think is going to be different a year from now, a month from now? If you're doing the same thing, if you're not shifting your mindset, you're not changing your circle, you're not doing anything to make yourself better, what do you think will be different a month from now? Oh, I'm waiting till later. What is going to happen if you're not doing anything? And that is just an excuse that you're making for yourself. And if you're like me, before I got into my personal development journey, I made excuses all the time of why I couldn't do whatever. And I got tired of hearing myself. I'm like, yo, you've been saying this for year after year after year. Ain't you tired of it? Ain't you tired? Oh, one day I'll lose that weight. One day I'll apply for another job. One day I'll relocate. When? What if today was your last day? What if today was your last day on earth? Would you want to be spending it doing what you're doing now? Or would you want to say, you know what? I follow my dreams. I listened to Siobhan. I applied what she said. And you know what? I don't have it all figured out. I don't know how everything is going to work out, but I'm going to try. I'm going to choose myself. I'm going to put myself first because I love myself so much that I'm going to follow the dreams that I have. What about that? A few things to get started, and let me know. I feel like I'm passionate today. Y'all can't even tell I'm operating on very little sleep. I'm telling you, I went to bed like at 4 a.m. What you can do is to create a vision board. I think that is a great starting. I think even before creating a vision board, this would be your first step. Your very first step would be to ask yourself this question: what do you want for your life? And you're probably like, Siobhan, I know what I want. Do you? Do you want what you've been told that you should want? What society said you should want? What your family? Or do you know what you want for your life? Many women don't know. They don't. So that's the first question. What do you want for your life? What is it? And be honest with yourself. And it's very possible you don't want the life that you have right now. It's very possible you're like, I ain't signed up for this. This is boring. This doesn't feel good. This is frustrating. This ain't it. And I had that reality check all of 2020. I looked at every single area of my life and I'm like, this ain't it. And I was willing to burn everything down and start over. And that's what I did. And now when I talk about being in my glow up season, when I talk about being free, I did the hard things. And I'm telling you, if you listen to the podcast, I talked about 2020. I think I did a 2-part series on it. And I'm like, 2020 was very, very challenging. Not how it was for other people, personally, of what I had to overcome to get to where I'm at today. Right? So the first thing is to ask yourself the question, what do you want for your life? Create a vision board. Find pictures and images and, have words that align with the future version of yourself. What's the vision that you have for your life? Or do you have a vision? A lot of people don't. Or they make these vision boards. At the top of the year, New Year's, you go to these vision board parties and you you make these vision boards and then you never look at them again. They're off to the side and you ain't picked it up since January or last January if you made one, right? And you're not achieving the things that you said that you wanted because you got impatient with the process, right? So asking yourself, what do you want for your life? Creating a vision board, affirming every single day what you want, affirming it. That positive affirmation day in and day out, what it is that you want for your life, right? So every single day, all day, I'm affirming the woman that I'm becoming. I have affirmations that go off on my phone every hour, affirming myself. I write down affirmations. I read them every day. I affirm who I'm becoming because I take this journey very, very seriously. And then lastly, you got to take action. You got to show up for yourself, period. There's no way around it. You have to do something. And my hope is that listening to me, when you come watch me here on IG, you're listening to the podcast, you're inside the Be Free Inner Circle, you read my newsletters, that you're motivated to do something, that you're not just doing nothing, but you're motivated to take action. And you're wise enough to know that if you don't know what step to take, you will ask, what should I do next? What's the next step for you? Because everyone's step will look different. I'm going to always say, after you listen to me live on IG or you listen to the podcast, your next step is always to join the Be Free Inner Circle, because that way I can coach you and I can mentor you. I can provide community support, create a space where you can find your forever friends. I've done the work for you. The question will always be, when are you going to show up for yourself? Or will you keep saying, oh, one day I'll get to that. Someday I'll show up. Someday I'll follow my dreams. I'll do it later. I'll receive my rewards in heaven. Are you waiting on heaven? Or are you going to live right now, right? So let me know if y'all have any questions. Let me know if this resonated with you. Let me know. Thoughts, comments, concerns. Renisha, I think I'm gonna butcher it all up, but I apologize for that. Getting tired of our own old selves. Yeah. I got tired of hearing myself say the same thing over and over again. And I am an action person. I'm an Enneagram 3. I'm an achiever. So I take action. And when I'm not, it's like, oh, well, why? Why are you making an excuse? Why are you procrastinating? And so before I really got into the personal development work, I made every excuse under the sun. Oh, my kids are little. Oh, I don't know what I want. Or, oh, I got to work at this job. Like all the excuse. And it's like, girl, it ain't even that deep. What is it that you want? And so that's the question that I asked myself. What is? And then I had to be honest. Oh, I want to use my gifts that God has given me. Okay, well, what are your gifts? Oh, well, I'm really good. I'm amazing at holding people accountable. It's a gift that I have, and I do it without even thinking about it. I'm really great at encouraging people. I'm really positive. My light is contagious. I know the energy that I bring to the room. I know I can be very motivating. I know these gifts now that once I thought that they were nothing, but I know that that's what makes me unique and special. So then once I figured out, oh, these are my gifts. Okay, how can I, now that I know what my gifts are, now what do I do with that? And I just kept going and I just kept following the path. And every time I got stuck, okay, God, what next? And there were many tears. It wasn't like, oh, here's the answers. No, there was times when God was silent. And I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, you know, deep in your heart, you know that there's more. You know that you want more, but where do you go? And I just kept asking and I kept asking and I kept journaling and I sat with it until God made it very clear. Your purpose is to be a light and empower others to be free. Okay, now what? And then here we are 7 years later with Be Free Project. And I'm doing this like, not even, like it's my purpose driven work. Like I don't even have, and I've said this many times, I don't have a plan B or C or nothing. Like it's all Be Free Project. And God has confirmed this is what it is, right? So yeah. Sylvia says, I'm learning how to take action, being intentional daily. Yes, that's it. And that's a part of the BFF manifesto for the Be Free Inner Circle. Every day, just take one step. And that step could be so small, but at least you're doing something. You know, at least you're not standing still. And Sylvia, you are a part of the Be Free Inner Circle, and it's an honor to be able to watch you on this journey and see the steps that you're taking every single day. Live life more abundantly while we still, live. You meant live more abundantly. Absolutely. Live an abundant life. Like, we take our lives for granted, and we're not. It's so. And this is interesting. So my daughter was sick this week. No, last Thursday. From last Thursday all the way up until like Sunday night or whatever, she was sick, like down, right? And when she started feeling better on Monday, she had a pep in her step, feeling good, yada yada yada. And we were talking about because we don't get sick in our family, and she hasn't been sick with a cold or anything in a very long time. And she was like, I haven't been sick in a long time. I'm like, yeah, how do you feel? And she was like, I don't want to be sick again. And I'm like, I know. And we were talking about this, and she was like, I don't want to take my body for granted, right? And we do that. We just think our bodies is going to get up and take care of us, but you got to take care of your body. And I'm like, this will make you appreciate your life and your body so much more, because when your body is down, you can't do the things and function like you normally do, right? And so the same thing as you're living life every day, you're taking these moments for granted when you can really be following your dreams and doing something very beautiful. Patrice says, I'm living my dream, but I'm in a transition period right now. It's rough. Yeah, but this is a thing, Patrice. And Patrice is a part of the Be Free Inner Circle, so we'll continue to talk about this inside the community. It's okay to be going through a transition, and it gets rough sometimes. I was talking about this earlier. There's days when you're going to want to quit. You're going to want to give up. You're like, is this it? And it's almost going to feel like you are stretched in two different directions. It's like, like just stretch. And it's like, you will get to a point where you feel like you can't take anymore, but that's when you keep going. And no matter how uncomfortable it gets, especially because I know for sure, Patrice, you are following your dreams and you are doing the work. Even in the transition, you hold your head up high and you share as much as you can, as much as you want to inside the Be Free Inner Circle. So then that way we can continue to support you. But it gets rough. I'm never going to say it's easy. It is not. But I wouldn't change this for nothing in the world. I will take this just hit me. I will take my hard moments inside my dream versus not following my dream at all. Woo, that's good, ain't it? That's it. I would take my hard moments pursuing my dream versus not following my dreams at all. Yo, that's good. I know that's good. That feels good in my spirit. Because it's worth it. At least you know what your dreams are. You know how many people walking around don't know their dreams or they not doing anything? At least you're doing something. Oh, that's good. I felt that. I felt that in my spirit. I felt that. Let's see here. Okay, do I have any questions? Let me know. KKD99 says, resonating completely. Wish I could stay for the whole... Oh, she had to go. Okay, got to get back to meetings. If you're just getting on, you can definitely catch the replay. You can totally do that. Dr. Crazy Wife. Okay. Are you in my praying closet? Are you in my thoughts? I was just literally talking to my coworker about this same thing. And that's so good. I get that often. Like, I get that how, depending on what I'm sharing, people like, were you in my prayer closet? Were you in my journal? Were you sick? Like, where? Because I was literally just thinking about this. And that lets me know that what I'm doing is right on point, because it's like, oh, it's resonating with you. And you were supposed to be here to get the message, you know? So, yay, I'm glad that this resonated with you. I don't think I see any more. Let's see here. The rebellious pen. Oh, Samidra. Samidra is in the Be Free Inner Circle too. The process can be frustrating at times. Yeah, you know, the process is very, very, very frustrating. It is not easy. It's not. But again, I would rather be following my dreams and let that be frustrating versus not following my dreams at all. Because following your dreams is more fulfilling. That's where you get to happiness and freedom, but you got to do the work to get there. And there's levels to this, you know? So I don't see any questions. Thank you for showing up. I talked a lot about, if you're just hopping on, I would love for you to catch the replay. I would love, even after watching this, that you share this video on your IG story so other women can see it too. Especially if you were inspired, if you were motivated by it, go ahead and share it and let other people check it out as well. If you're not in the Be Free Inner Circle, I would love for you to join this amazing community. I'm going to go out there and say it is the best membership community on the planet. You know why? Because you get to connect with light. You get to have me in your corner, mentoring you, supporting you, being your biggest cheerleader on your personal growth journey, and then also providing you with the resources that you need to not only find your forever friends, but holding you accountable to get things done. And you can go and learn more and become a member at BeFreeInnerCircle.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, let me see. An affirmation I love is I live my dreams while working on I love it. I live my dreams while working on my dreams. I love that. And you want to know why I love that? It's because so many times, and I was just about to log off, and now you got me all riled up again. But because when people are working for corporate or they're working at their jobs, they complain and they moan and all this jazz or whatever. And it's like, work that until you can live your dream, right? Work where you're at now so that whatever the dream is, you can work that later. Let's be present and be grateful for the moments that we have instead of complaining. And I ain't never telling nobody to go out and become an entrepreneur. That is not what Be Free is about. Being free is about doing what you love, that makes your heart sing, that fulfills you. Like, in everyone's definition of being free will look completely different, but whatever is in your spirit and your soul, I encourage you to go pursue that, right? So if it's working for corporate, have your way. If it's starting your own company, have your way. If it's line dancing, being an artist, whatever, just do what makes your soul sing. Do what makes you feel most alive, and that is how you'll get to a level of fulfillment and freedom in your life. All right, I'm logging off. This was great. This was amazing. Join me next